we are, live on the internet for everyone to see forever. Bert, did you mute yourself already?
No.
Oh, okay, there you are. I thought you said something. It didn't come through.
Here, let me adjust my audio because Zoom is stupid.
Oh, yeah,
Can you hear me now?
there you are.
Oh, baby.
All right. So, well, it's Saturday. Must mean that we're doing Weird Frontiers, some horror DCC Western with the usual cast of characters, minus one luchador who's going to be off peddling some ab cream to really shine up that six pack that you may or may not have. Yeah, that's what he's going to be doing. You got any pre-roll, Chuck?
Nope, I'm ready to do this.
No, okay. Then, as our lawyers make us say each time, you may enjoy yourselves, you may laugh, you may have a knee-slapping good time, but on reflection, you will feel that you have wasted your time, and you may wonder where your life is heading. There. That's out of the way. So, Chuck, who you playing tonight?
I am playing Pierce McIntyre, occultist, father of Scab, and one recently liberated from the clutches of the Black Goat.
You make that sound like it was such a bad thing. Those were loving caresses of the Black Goat.
Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In places that you may not have wanted to be caressed. But,
Yeah.
There's a thing. Jeremy, tell us all about Pierce's son.
I am Scab. I guess I'm called the Tommy Knocker. But you know what? Life's really been on the upswing lately. My new stepdad survived longer than any other stepdad, and he's a really good man. He's a doctor. He saves people and helps people, and we killed vampires together, except for the one that wanted to kill. But for the most part, life is really good.
Yeah. She even extended the olive branch to you. You probably still want to cut off the end and turn that into a steak and, end her.
Oh.
But, she tried. She tried to be nicer.
I'll let Chance have his time. I'm going to be around a while.
It's like, Chance, when you kick her to the curb, let me know. I'll be there with a steak.
Mm-hmm.
So let's hear all about Chance, really, Daniel.
Done. Oh my gosh, he's our not so great gunslinger. Sometimes he does fine, and most of the time he doesn't.
And he's a social climber these days too.
He's trying.
Have you bedazzled your costuming yet? Are you the rhinestone cowboy now?
I mean, I'm working on it. I got my bedazzler kit in my bag.
Nice.
So, the first pairs of jeans, maybe not so much, but, we'll see.
There that goes. All right. Well, speaking of one that bedazzles, Jebediah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell us all about Jebediah there.
Yeah, I'm playing the Jebediah Bejebums, our gambler, con man extraordinaire, owner of several pets that are in plant form, somehow still alive. It's great.
Thank you, Joe. And Jake, tell us who you got there.
Oh, well, I will be portraying Killian Fichet, who is a French photographer turned Calavera. And now he's in these strange environs where ghost riders in the sky are prepared to scare the crap out of him.
Yes. And you've got but one butt cheek since visiting these here shores.
Yes, indeed. Of all the things he's seen during the American Civil War, he got out just fine. A few adventures with an undead Tommyknocker, lost a butt cheek.
Yeah.
It's just
one
how it
butt
goes.
Cheek down.
Real sorry.
I'm sure it was chock full of nutrients. It's quite all right.
All that French goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Wine and cheese.
That's right. Well, we started a new module, the last module in the 7 that shipped with the game, Dig 3 Graves, and started off with a bang-up start as you're visiting some poor old widow there to steal her silver. Well, actually, you can't steal her silver because silver's a holy relic in the form of candelabras from the Catholic Church. And stealing them would kind of remove the blessing that's upon them. However, I do believe he came to an understanding with the widow, who simply wants the body of her dearly departed brought back, buried here at home, and she's sure this will lay his spirit to rest. That spirit is currently being trailed behind some riders in the sky.
Yeah.
Some ghost-like forms that are with a long chain of prisoner souls that are being carried through the skies. Yeah. Some of you got caught up in that. How did we end? I kind of forgot a little bit. It's been a bit, and Chuck didn't post it, so couldn't go
It's in the
back and
works.
listen.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
It's
we
in
had
the
to basically
works.
take shelter from the storm after a bit.
Yeah, then it went away. Some of you got blown all over creation, if I remember. Some
Yeah.
of you got hurt badly. Some didn't.
I took a nap
I
for a
can't-
little while.
Mm-hmm.
But then we
I can't remember if we left that building or not. I know we had the whole thing with finding the box with the silver in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we
Found that it
closed
glowed.
up. Yeah. And then once we kind of closed it up, it dispersed, didn't it?
No,
No.
it's it's the glow is still there. That holy glow is still there. And I think it was Luchador was told that she's got to give it to you willingly. If you steal it or take it,
Okay.
well, that's just going to destroy the usefulness of them, as the blessing will be torn away from it.
Mercifully,
But-
we have a deal set up to where she can give it to us. All we have to do is put her child's soul, the outlaw kid Colton, to rest.
Yeah. And she
Who's
told
currently
you that,
being dragged around by the Ghost Riders in the sky.
She's pretty sure that if she can have his corporeal form, which is currently buried in the Tombstone Hill of the little city of Harrow, not too far from here, and if his corporeal remains are buried here at the homestead, that might lay his spirit to rest and break his shackles to that oddity flying through the sky.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we left after this was all explained. And
That sounds right.
mm-hmm.
Well,
All right.
yeah.
I guess. Do any of us have a shovel?
I mean, if we're going to the town, we can easily get a shovel, right?
Oh, that's a good point. You're so smart, Dad.
I try. So
I call dibs on digging.
you are welcome to, even though Dan has disappeared.
No,
Yes, my camera got hung up for some reason. We'll see if it turns back on.
we can just have the disembodied voice of chance otherwise, and that's fine. Any of your characters that would have done some traveling in the region, if you guys would just go ahead and just make me a check on your intelligence to see if you know anything about Harrow Springs. I would imagine
There we go.
that would be everyone but Scab, who never really went far from his home except with this group.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a 6.
I got a
What's the
4.
We're rolling intelligence to see
Intelligence
what we know.
check. Yeah,
Intelligence,
everybody
okay.
but Scab, just to see if anybody knows anything about the town of Harrow Springs.
I do not.
Chance
met
did
a
some
girl there.
roaming
A bit
before he settled
exploring,
down to be
learning.
the only human in a town full of half fish folk.
I mean, isn't that where you would pick?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Had your pick of the fine fish folk.
Probably just where you ran
Mhm.
out of money at.
Yeah. It's kind of where your wagon broke down. You just kind of set up shop there. Okay, so it looks
Might
like only
actually
one
be.
person did well on that. So Chance. Harrow Springs.
Probably a good thing that I failed it, because that means no one hates me here.
Exactly. You've probably not been through here to cheat anyone yet. So, Chance, Harrow Springs is about 150 or so odd souls the last time you came through here. Mostly it's ranchers, some miners in the area. There is a fairly steady stagecoach delivery that comes through every few days, since that's how you got here, or in your past, how you came through here. You do know that some cavalry troops occasionally get stationed here once a month before they head on. It's kind of like a crossroads, which has made the town larger than it seems, and more expensive than you would think because of that.
That makes sense.
It's a fairly new town too. With the rails opening up and the stagecoaches becoming a bit safer. To your recollection, when you were there last, a good 15 years ago, the town had only been open for not very long. Like it had just sprung up, literally. Houses all built at the same time. The ranchers had been there for a while, but the town itself is a fairly new thing, so it's not that old.
All right. Well, a lot of comings and goings, so should be interesting.
All right. So just so everyone's clear again, what are we getting in the town?
A body.
A
We're
body.
gonna dig up a body.
Okay. I didn't see a graveyard on the map, so I was.
Yeah, Boot Hill is there. I may not have captured it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go buy an expensive shovel and dig up a corpse. And
Actually, yeah, it is on the map. Bottom right here.
oh, okay.
Those are
2-1.
tombstones all around it.
Got it.
It's
Just
up on
normal
the
good
hill.
guy things, grave robbing.
Yeah.
It's not grave robbing. It's
Yeah.
grave recovering.
Now you haven't left yet, so if you want to ask the widow Colton anything, you surely can do that. But yeah, them's the terms. Get back the corporeal remains of Kid Colton, so that she can bury him here at his home, and silver's yours.
Yeah, never open that box again.
Why not? It was real pretty.
It might have just been bad timing.
It could have been a coincidence, but I would rather not risk it.
I agree. Anyway, let's go.
All right, no further questions for Ma Colton. You guys head off. I assume at this point you guys all have horses.
But do we already have like a good description of what he looks like and all that?
A corpse.
Well, you all saw him, like
Pretty
you saw
bad.
his soul anyway, which mirrored his physical form fairly well.
Okay. Okay.
We just need to look for somebody who's dragged by the neck and screaming. Perfect.
Awesome.
I mean, in the ground, though, he's probably not, that.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, you guys saddle up and head out. You're told it's maybe a 4 to 6 hour trip, depending on how fast you want to move your horses in that direction. Point you off. You guys head out. Is anybody taking point or lead, or are you just kind of all staying together in a group? Terrain's fairly flat. It's not a lot that would hide anything for miles around. You could see something coming.
I would usually say, Chance, you're more familiar with the area. If you want to take a point for us.
Sure, why not?
Okay, in which case, Chance, maybe a luck check.
We're good. We're good.
You're a bit in front of everybody else. Not so much. Like I said, it's wide open terrain. You can see for miles. There's no real reason for you to get too far ahead. But ahead you are. And something that you notice, you made your luck check pretty well there. It's maybe you stop and you're checking on your horses, waiting for everybody else to catch up, taking a little break, and you feel there's a little rumble in the ground. Which this to mean either lots of horses or maybe a stagecoach is passing by fairly close in the distance. You're a skilled tracker of sorts, so you kind of know what that means when you feel that on the ground. Sure enough, there's kind of a dust cloud a bit ahead. Kind of squint from the sun, seeing what's going on. It looks like there's a wagon that is going faster than it should. And it seems to be followed by 6 riders. And then you hear the gunshots. Some of the riders that are following behind that coach are taking shots at it.
Oh, well, I might see if I can kind of round the people up and see if we feel like offering what appears to be a helping hand of need.
I am fine with helping. The question is which side needs helping.
Oh, usually it's the people being chased.
Usually. Then let's
Well, after being hurled through the sky, I could use a win.
do it.
All right. How quickly are you heading in the direction? It's a little bit ahead of you there, and it is heading towards Harrow Springs. It looks like the one well-trodden road is what the stagecoach is just tearing down right now.
I
Maybe
mean,
we'll have to see, if there's any identifying marks on, the stagecoach or the people chasing. I do have like a scope that I don't keep on my gun because
Sure.
reasons.
You want to take a look through the scope? It is a stagecoach. You can see frightened passengers inside the stagecoach. There are two people on the buckboard. One of them's got the reins and is just slashing at the horses to get more speed out of them. The other one's fumbling with a rifle, trying to load it, and you see the ammo scattering everywhere. And as you're looking, let me make a roll here. Okay. It looks like the driver just took a hit. He kind of winces back as you're looking through that scope, and then he just kind of rolls off the wagon, hitting the ground at speed. And the horse is now, without a master to control them, starts to veer off the road. You see the big wagon wheels start to jump and grind on a surface that's not quite as even and flat as they would like. And they're starting to careen off into a field of cacti that are fairly close. Bandits are, well, you're not exactly sure. You run your scope over them, and you don't know. I mean, they could be lawmen. It's hard to tell. It's not like the bandits, have a pirate flag that they fly from the back of the saddles or anything.
Always makes it easier.
Yep.
Oh, maybe we can get a little closer and let's get head that way and see what we see.
Yeah.
Or whoever shoots us first, we could just shoot.
That's
back.
a good judge.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
Well, as you get a little
if Chance
closer,
shoots us, then we shoot
yeah.
him.
So it's game over. Chance kills you all.
Yeah.
You get a little closer, and maybe to give you some idea of who's the bad guy here, as the group of 6 horsemen follow behind that stagecoach, one of them pauses long enough to put a couple of shots into the driver that fell off to the side of the road.
Oh,
That's usually a bad sign. Yeah.
okay.
All right. So I tell you what, you guys are coming kind of diagonal to what all's coming on. I'm going to just give you guys a round at range if anybody wants to take some shots at range before we do anything with initiative.
I won't be taking a shot, but I will be trying to cast a spell at range.
Okay. Keep in mind you're on horseback. So if you do this,
It's going to be tough.
it's going to be tough.
Okay.
Like if you grow grow your cactus spines while you're on the horse.
Oh, God.
What about as the range?
Let's see. Let's start at 180. We'll start at 180. There we go.
Okay.
That's in range of like rifles
I'm
and
gonna start
such.
kind of trying, like whenever it gets to my turn, I'm gonna be trying to veer off to the side and start drawing cards.
Again, are you going to come to a stop? Because otherwise you're trying to do this on horseback.
I don't know if being on horseback, well, might be bad for the horse.
Yeah. I mean, you got to draw cards while you're holding on to a rein. It's not a simple thing.
Yeah. True. Sounds fun though, so I'll do it from horseback.
Till you obliterate your horse.
Oh God!
Hopefully not.
The ground quakes and just swallows your horse.
While thinking about the spells that I could cast, someone did bring up a point of thinking about my poor horse. So I'll do something I don't do often, and I will take a shot with my very teeny tiny Derringer.
Okay, check your range. You're at 180 is where I'm giving you guys basically a free round.
Yeah, but I don't even have range on that. So if I don't have range, probably nobody does.
Oh no, my top range on my Derringer is a very impressive 15 feet.
Yeah, you don't have range on it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
My top range is 150, and I don't have range on it. So
All right. Well, then
Okay.
let's close in.
No one with rifles then, so let's just go straight to initiative, guys. Go
I've
ahead
got one
and
thing.
I should-
I just want to let anybody who's going to shoot go first.
Yeah. Also, if there's anything you want to like precast or anything like that, you can do before we go into initiative. Just giving you guys basically an action to do something.
I'm okay.
I just want to tell a joke.
Do it.
Hey guys, did you hear about the sheep riding bandit? He's still on the lam.
It's so bad that everybody just stops and turns around.
And they all have to make, because I can affect 7 people now, so they all have to make a DC 16 will save.
Well, you're nowhere within earshot of the bandits, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's just okay. Well, that's the case.
Unless you're trying to do this to your own crew, which sure, everybody
No.
make that save.
Okay, if that's too far for it to be within earshot, then I
Yeah.
won't.
That's a good one, Scab.
I did pass.
But tell them.
Okay, that's my bad.
Such great delivery too.
Yeah.
I'll spend a couple personality points to do bone dance.
Okay.
Where is
You can do
the
that before your
token?
initiative is fine.
Yeah.
Up towards
Oh,
the
there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, there
Make
you are.
sure that your initiative gets added into the turn order. If it's not automatically putting it in there, I had to put my own in.
Do we still have the branding
Forgot to click on my
bonus?
token.
Yeah, because that was for.
No, that was a long time ago. That's months
Was it?
ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think
I think I've already
rebranded
taken it off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good deal. I'll make sure to take that off then.
I did good on initiative. I got a 15.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then I see Bert down there got a 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is if they go before we get there, they just shoot the innocents.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the good thing.
Shoot them.
That's me, not Scab.
us.
Okay. So it looks like they do go first. So I'm going to say, since no one's had a chance to shoot at them or otherwise draw attention to yourselves, they're going to ignore you right now. Whether they see you, you're not sure, but they're just going to continue on after the stagecoach. So I'm just going to have a bunch of them shoot. Hmm. Oh, that last one pulled an ace. Okay, so one of them give the gun jams. The other 5 get their shots off. 3 of them are hits, unfortunately. Not even going to roll for this. The one guy finally gets his rifle loaded. And he swings back, and he's not sure whether to try and grab the reins or try and shoot. And then there's a hail of bullets as he's being indecisive, and he gets pegged several times. And you see him straighten up on the buckboard, and then just kind of fall off the stagecoach. Stagecoach is now well and truly wild. The horses are not being controlled. They're just heading off into the distance. The stagecoach is banging and jutting around. You can hear a sharp crack as some of the spokes start to break. That's what happens on 20. Chance!
Well, if we're close enough, I suppose I'll try and take some shots.
How fast are you getting your horse to move?
I mean, fortunately, I think, gunslingers have a natural affinity for horseback riding. So, I feel like pushing it.
You're pushing it? Okay, so we'll say that you're at 100 then. You go 80.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
That still has me at long range, but
Mhm.
What will I need to take off of my rolls?
I'm going to say, since gunslingers are... Actually, do you... is this your special horse? Like, is this the horse you've bonded with and had some time with, or is this just a horse you just recently
I
bought?
presume I'd be trying to, stick with my horse where it's reasonable.
No penalty for you, because, that's what gunslingers do. They've got this little camaraderie with their horses. Yeah.
All right. So I'm still at a, -2 for long range?
For long range, yeah.
Okay. So that basically just removes my bonus to start with. Got a 2, a jack of diamonds, and a queen of spades.
Actually, it's only a -1. So if that that extra one does anything for you,
It
it
does.
might.
Oh, a decent Deadeye die.
Nice.
I always do the free bleeder for my
Sure. Yeah, that's
default
your-
one since I didn't call anything.
Mhm.
Of course, I don't have the PDF right now, so I might have to have somebody double check me on that.
What, free
It's okay.
bleeder?
Yeah,
So 15 is definitely going to hit. That's before your. That's before. That doesn't include your.
does
Four,
not.
does it? So that's a 19. That's a really good hit. 10
And the
points of
damage doesn't either. So it'd be 14 points of
Right.
damage.
So you don't even need to know anything about your special maneuver because that's just a shot right in the head. The guy may not be dead, but he's certainly no longer on horseback as he just falls right off his saddle, hits the ground hard. That was your first shot.
Yeah. And then we'll go ahead and roll the next one here. Stays at the same bonus.
Yes.
The same thing again.
Okay. Same amount of damage too. So
Yeah.
there you go. You drop another one. 4 left.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Chance
Who
is
are
going
you?
crazy today. And I get a +2 to my damage for the Queen of Spades too. So it'd
Sure.
be
And so you don't even need to
12.
roll we don't even need to roll the crit on that. His head just explodes. You're pretty sure that one's dead and not just dehorsed. Leaving 3 of these bad guys.
Oh, Chance is having a good day
Yeah.
for now.
I almost want to
That
just
means
hang
I'm
back
scared to
and
draw
not-
cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually a good day for Chance is a bad day for Jebediah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was Chance. That's all your shots, right?
That's all my shots.
Yep.
Unless,
Okay.
I don't think the shotgun's gonna quite hit him. So
Pierce.
Oh, it's
So
me
you're still well
already.
out of range of your Derringer. Although if you're just wanting to move your horse, you just get 80 closer. So you're at 100 now.
I will do that. Yeah.
Okay. So not pushing it too much. So you're just a little closer. Anything else you want to do?
At this point, no. I don't want to risk casting anything till I'm off my horse, so I want to
Right.
close up. Yeah.
Jebediah.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna ride up and try and get within. Isn't it like 120 feet or something like that?
Well, you
Is the
can.
farthest on
Your
my
horse's
card?
normal movement at a canter is going to move you 80, so you'll be at 100 without having to do
Okay.
anything special. But you're still having to do stuff from horseback, which is not really your forte. So you're going to be doing this with disadvantage.
Okay.
Okay.
There's not really a. How do we want to do a? Do we want to just like make me have to roll a check to see if I'm able to draw cards right or something? Because
No, I
It's
tell you
not
what
really
we'll do. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Here's what we'll do. We'll just make this a situational modifier. Been running too many
Okay.
systems lately. So let us do. You are. We'll do. I think -1d is too much. So we'll just do -2. If you're trying to push
Okay.
your horse more than that, we'll go higher. So we'll just do a -2 to your roll.
Okay. So like whatever the outcomes are on any of
Yeah.
these.
Yeah, you're just going to do a little bit worse.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I'll just ride up and then I'm gonna try and like swing wide, not so wide that I'm like losing ground on them, but trying to distance
yeah.
myself as much as I can from everyone else. And
Well,
I'll
if they're
start
going
drawing
straight
cards.
forward and you're going to a tangent, I'm going to say that you're going to be 80 away from the closest of your friends. Okay.
Okay. That works. Yeah. I'll spin my luck. And first card. Red Joker. Okay.
Hmm.
that's choose your own adventure, I think, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll both have a good day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I think that just means my next like 4 cards are 8s and aces. Always forget to have the book open when I do this.
I've got stuff. I've got the book open. If you want to tell me what you get, I can read it out to you.
Well,
I
he can
probably
choose. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably just want to get the. is the fireball one, because none of us are like in the group of them.
They're not, but they are very close to the stagecoach, which might get hit in fireball.
That's true. That might be. One of them was like pointed, fired like kind of darts or something like that. They were like smaller orbs, whatever that one is.
It looks like that's the Queen of Heart card bursts into a swarm of flaming hearts the size of a silver dollar. Hearts move about the gambler's form erratically and serve. Oh, no, that's soaking damage.
There's one where it's like small
Might have been the
fireballs. I think
Jack.
maybe it's
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I
Jack of Hearts. Yeah. Card spins in the air, spitting out 1d4 CL balls of fire at one or more targets within 50 feet. Each fireball automatically hits the target, doing 2d6.
Yeah, out of
Okay.
range. You're 100 feet away, so not that one.
Okay. I think all of my targeting ones are probably out of range then. I might just do one of the damage soaking ones. I think the spades are the ones that have like whatever the water one is that
Yeah,
gives
those
me
are-
like temporary. I'll go for that one.
So yeah, Jack of Spades. Card instantly liquefies over the gambler's head, showering them with healing liquid. Oh no, that's healing.
It's one that gives me like temp HP.
Yeah, but that looks like it drains people within 50 feet.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, you're
I don't
more
wanna-
than 50 feet away from anyone.
But not
But it
for my
won't help
horse.
anything either. Yeah. Well, that's true. It would kill your horse.
I mean, if you want to ride a zombie horse to town, I can arrange that, but you know.
Might be your best option.
That would be cool. So
could
I
fly.
have this thing called momentum.
You do Queen of Diamonds. It swirls. Card swirls at great speed around you in a helix pattern, and temporarily gives you the ability of flight. You gain 2 AC and a flight move of 60 feet around for 1d10 plus CL rounds.
That sounds cool.
sound kind of
I'll do
cool.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. There's your first pull.
All right. Next one. 4 spade.
That's just damage. So go ahead and roll
yeah.
that damage. Yep.
And
Okay.
1 damage because it's -2, right?
Mhm. Right.
So
Yeah.
cool.
Just 2 less to any die rolls that you have to do.
Jack of diamonds.
Small
Is it
whirlwind
going to
bursts in the
hurt?
sky, whirling about as if tethered within 5 feet of the gambler. Basically, anyone shooting at you are -1d. Anyone attacking in melee has to do a reflex save. Yeah, so basically it's protective. And since it's
Okay.
within 5 feet, I'm going to say your horse is safe.
Okay.
So it's kind
Cool.
of protecting your horse as well. So that's your third.
I'll risk another card. Queen of spade. Is this the one where I liquefy?
Yeah, this is the okay. So no one was within 50 feet of you, so you're okay. Other than your horse,
I don't know.
you know
Well,
what?
good
It says
thing you can
1d4.
fly.
It says 1d4 plus caster level in targets within 50, which means I think I'm going to say that's selective. So you can say it's not
Okay.
your horse and be okay. You're going to be
How
okay.
many lizards and small rodents?
Yeah,
I
a
don't-
bunch of lizards come by like this. It's just wicked out of them.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
All right, you going to stop pulling?
Yeah, probably with that.
Okay, so there you go. Bringing us to Scab.
I'm out of melee range and out of vocal range, so I just go riding in.
Okay, so you're at 100 now. I'm going to say because of the loudness of the stagecoach and like all the horses thundering, within 50 they'll be able to hear you. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, you just ply your horse forward. Killian, you're last.
I'm also going to advance. I'm going to head. Well, let's see. Now there are a couple of dudes on the ground, and I assume the rest are on the stagecoach. I will head towards the stagecoach.
Okay, so you're just going to stand your round just to get closer. So you're going to be at 100 then.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Next round.
Ugh.
Not so good for me.
Right?
Oh, I forgot to add my 8 to it, so it'd be 14. But
Oh my god.
I got a 12 again.
I got a 6 again.
All right, yeah, just fill in your numbers there in the turn order, and I got a 20 again.
Oh my gosh.
gosh
Bert.
darn.
Knock that
Wow.
off.
Ah,
Good for you.
All right, at this point, there has been gunshots. Oh, oops.
We lost a Dan.
Oh my.
So the 3 do see that you guys are running, coming hard on them. One of them is close enough to the stagecoach that you see him kind of doing this thing where he's kind of standing on top of a saddle, and it looks like he's going to try and make a leap off onto that wagon.
Okay.
And he misjudges horribly, falls flat on his face. The horse steps on him, so continues on. The other 2 are going to turn, and these 2 have rifles, so they're going to turn around and they're going to shoot. I'm going to make this random between all of you guys. So I'm going to do a D5 and just in order. So the first one's going to shoot at Jebediah. I'll take a
Perfect.
shot at you.
I mean, not
All right.
perfect, but
It's clean.
I've got the minus to being hit from the.
And it's a complete miss anyway. He's just going to take the one shot. The second one is going to shoot at. Oh, this is going to be Killian. Takes aim with his rifle. I'm pretty sure that misses your AC. And let's see what his card draw was. Anyway, his card draw was clean, but I think a 13 probably misses you now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they are laying down some cover fire. They hadn't noticed that their friend hadn't quite made it onto the stagecoach and gotten trampled by his own horse. That was their turn. Scab. If you would be within 50 with your horses moving forward some,
Perfect.
so you can be within 50 of these guys.
so that's what I'll do. I'll ride up. I'll point at their friend who fell in.
You think that's funny? Let me tell you another one. Did you hear about the one-armed bandit? He's already robbed 5 banks single-handed.
Hey, I'm
Did
really
you get
sorry.
that, Clem? No, Angus. What the heck he mean by that? What do they have to roll?
DC 16 willpower save for all 3 of them.
Well, one of them is probably dead. One of them fails. They both fail. So what happens on a failure?
Okay. It's random, which is the blessing and the curse of this power, but I really enjoy it. Okay, so the first one falls into the fetal position, clawing at their head, trying to get the laughter out. They are helpless for 6 rounds.
I kind of think it's more like he falls off and he's trying to think, what did he mean by that? Wait, one-handed guy doing what? Wait, what? Not failing to comprehend the joke. What happens to the other one?
The other one, he becomes paralyzed, choosing to withdraw from the mind-numbing effects of the cackle, and they're also helpless and unable to take any action.
The joke is so bad, he's just staring at you, struck dumb. Well, this effectively ends the combat.
Okay.
But you still have we're going to go out of initiative. I just want to know what you guys are doing. You've got a wild stagecoach that is uncontrolled and is looking like it's going to shake itself apart, probably severely hurting the people that are inside.
I'm going to fly to the front of it because I've still got that effect going for a few rounds.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Maybe I can try and transition onto the horses or something and try and calm them down or something.
Okay.
I was just going to cast sleep on the horses.
Oh, God.
We should maybe take at least one of these people and bind them up so we can question them.
Yeah.
Well, you could be doing
Can't
that.
sleep
Scab.
on the horses and they get crushed by the wagon.
I'm just
I'll let
imagining
you
the
know.
Dark Knight where the Joker goes flying over in that semi-truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, seeing as there's no communication really going on here, it seems. Let's have Pierce, Jebediah, and Chance all make an initiative rolls. Just you guys.
Yeah.
Scab is going to go bind one of the guys that's
An
still
18.
available
no.
to do something.
Oh, these
Killian, what are you
poor
doing?
horses.
I was also going to try to ride to the stagecoach to calm the horses down.
Oh, well, you also put in an initiative there as well.
Very
And
well.
that one.
Oof.
Oh,
And I think this is beautiful as it looks like Pierce.
I nat 20.
Pierce was going to go first. It's Killian instead. Killian, you pull your horse alongside. The horses are wild. You can see they do have those blinders on, so their focus is forward, so they're always just moving forward without anyone to direct them left or right. If you want to try and calm them down, how do you do that?
I'm going to ride up alongside one of the horses and grab like where the reins would be into his bridle, and I'll tug back gently, and I'll say, "Whoa!"
Okay, I tell you what. Do you have any skill with animals?
Cattle drover.
Then
that
you
time I was
absolutely
wrangling
do.
ghost cattle.
Make me a D20 roll, a skilled roll. You can
right.
add either your strength, your dex, or your wisdom for having controlled animals before. You can choose the best one. Could be any of the three.
I'll roll strength on this one right now.
Well, it's just a D20 roll, but add your bonus for your strength if that's the strength is what you're going to use.
Yeah, that's 4.
Okay.
you have a boon, you can re-roll it.
I don't, but I have a crap ton of luck, so I'm gonna.
Oh, if you want to look that up, it's gonna be so the horses are out of their heads in fright. You're gonna need a 15 to really calm them down.
I can do that. Why not?
Wow. Okay. You're gonna throw 11 luck.
Oh yeah.
That's a lot. That's
Killian
all the luck I
reaches
have.
out, gets a hold of the bridle of the lead horse, and just starts talking to it and slowing his own horse down, which causes that lead horse to slow down as well. It looks like Killian's getting it under control. But Pierce, what do you want to do?
It looks
Like the
he's
stagecoach
getting-
is slowing down. The lead horse is slowing to match Killian's horse.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just make sure it slows down. That is a 19 on my sleep spell.
Okay.
Let's see. This is the one where I pick up the attributes of a desert cactus. Oh,
Okay.
I forgot to
Still
get off
on
my
horseback.
horse. I
Still on
forgot to get
horseback.
off
Yeah.
my
Oh
horse.
god.
We had
Multiple
fair
horse
warning.
pile up.
Up to 3 targets within range must save or fall asleep for D4 hours. There's 2 horses.
No, there are 6 horses in this trace.
Let's go slow them down some more. I'll put the 3. It's 2,
The
2, 2.
lead 2. Yeah.
I'll do the backs though. I want to do the rear 2 and then one in the middle.
Okay.
I don't want them to get trampled
okay.
by the other horses, so I'm thinking
But
if
they're just going to get trampled by the wagon instead. I got
They're
you.
tied
You want to
up.
make sure they're dead.
they've got
They're going to get drug, is what he said.
listen. I don't know horses and how horses.
What's the
work.
save?
19.
Okay. Well, that actually saves. That doesn't. 2 of them fall asleep. Okay, so wow. Wow. Since you did this, make me a luck check, Pierce.
Yeah. Okay.
If you fail, this is going to be
pass.
bad. You didn't. Okay. So they get dragged for a bit by the other horses, but since they were already starting to slow down, it's not too bad. Those horses are taking a bit of damage, but they're not ran over by the wagon. Yeah, it's not pleasant to watch, them leave behind a few yards of skin on the ground, but it all comes to a stop.
How's my horse doing?
Your horse, do you have any skills with animal handling at all?
Let me see. I have riding.
You have riding. That's good enough. Make me a skilled roll, and you can either choose your strength modifier or your wisdom modifier.
Let's do that.
And before you do that, how much damage did the quills cause?
So
Are they like a D4?
my punch damage with my spike, my quills, does a D8.
A D8. Okay. We'll just drop it by a 1 since you're not punching. It's just you sitting on the saddle. So
right.
we'll go from D8 to D7. Roll that D7 first.
All right. 2.
Okay, that's not bad. So your difficulty is going to be a 12.
All right. So then personality.
Otherwise, your horse is going to take off terrified.
4.
Yeah, you're trying for a difficulty of 12, so that's going to miss.
Okay.
You want to look it up, or you want to just let it go?
We're letting it go.
All right, your horse, shocked from suddenly being pierced from above by long cacti needles, tries to buck you off as it tries to run for the distance. Make me a reflex save.
Okay. 16.
16. Okay, so bad and good. You are
Okay.
not thrown from the horse. However, the horse is now taking you on a joyful ride through hell as it just goes off in a random direction with you holding on for dear life. It is out of control, in pain, as you are probably still on it because let's be dramatic here and say your quills have punctured your saddle into the horse, and you're pretty much stuck to your horse. As it goes, okay, so you will be able to try and control the horse again after a bit. But so the rest of your friends here see this happening, and you're like, "Whoa!" And then the horse bolts, and you guys can see Pierce is hanging on for dear life. Actually, no, he's probably not. His hands are probably in the sky doing this, as his legs are just stuck through the saddle and into the sides of his horse.
I'll have to buy him a new saddle.
I think we have to get him a new horse.
I'm just gonna watch the scene unfold for a couple of moments and just how will I translate this moment into French for my friends back home?
Make me that writing check again, Chuck.
Yeah. Was that
Still a 12?
You said personality or strength?
Yeah, either one is fine. We can do that.
11. I'm gonna let it
you
go.
miss again. Okay, so it tries to throw you. Make that reflex save again.
Do I get a bonus since I'm Velcroed to him?
No.
24.
Whoa, wow. Yeah, you are stuck. You are definitely stuck. So Pierce and his horse are disappearing over the landscape as he continues to ride off.
Well, is he doing the 8 seconds rodeo
He won't be a
style?
cactus forever, so he should be fine eventually.
Maybe we'll help the people in the wagon.
All right, so you're just gonna let Pierce ride off into the sunset.
How can we catch him?
Pierce, just keep making me that writing check and just tell me how long it takes you to make a DC 12.
Okay.
And I'll come back to you. The rest of you guys. So the stagecoach has come to a halt. Inside, the customers inside are like just feet overhead. They've been thrown around. You can see there's a little bit of blood on the window. There is a woman in a very fancy dress. Her fancy hat is looking not so fancy anymore. It's been smashed and crumpled against the sides of the stagecoach. There are 4 people inside. Two men dressed very well. They give off the banker vibe to Jebediah. A woman, either moneyed or landed or perhaps aristocracy of sorts, dressed very well inside. The last passenger looks to be a soldier. He's still wearing his kit, and he's the only one that seems to be in a decent condition as he's wrapped his arm around a piece of leather strap on the inside. He just kind of was riding it out, and you can see he's trying to help the other 3 up. Looks like one of them's injured. He's the only one with all of his faculties. He's yelling out, "Help! Help! We got an injured lady in here. I think she's broken her arm."
Oh, this is a chance to use his fancy manners, perhaps his high speech. Impress a lady and maybe not be told to shush.
You're prettier when you shush.
He'll never forget. So I try to get them out of the wagon and,
Okay.
where they
How
can
long
get
did it
better
take you
help.
to make a success on the horse riding, Pierce?
Just the first one.
Okay, so it'll take you a
Well,
few minutes to get
yeah,
back.
that's fine.
Get the horse out of control. Okay, so Chance, you ride over to the stagecoach. Throw open a door. One of the well-dressed men kind of fall out as he was kind of leaning against the door, trying to get his purchase. As you open it, and he falls out onto the ground. Looks quite startled.
That's
The
fine. I'm
soldier,
not really here for him.
the soldier is attending to the lady who looks like she might be in shock. Actually, her face is very white. She's trembling, sweating, and it looks like he's trying to see if her arm is just out of socket or if it's broken. And he's like, "Hey, any of you folk happen to be a doctor? She's not doing so good." And you watch as she kind of convulses a little bit and she faints.
Oh, well, we got so much for being fancy. We got someone who
We have a doctor. He's way out there.
he's coming back, but we should probably get her,
You'll look
somewhere
like a
we should
cactus.
lay out.
Yeah, the soldier, with some help from you, Chance, pulls the lady out and kind of just arranges her on the ground. The arm is definitely broken, but it also looks like her shoulder is out of joint too. Pain might have caused her to faint. The other men come out as well. They're checking themselves. One of them has got a stain growing in his pouch, his breast pocket, as it looks like he had a glass liquor bottle in there, and it's just kind of spread. You can kind of smell the brandy. Looking a little worse for wear. And let's see, Scab, you went back to tie up. So two of them are definitely okay. Well, I mean, they're not okay. They're still under the effects of your power.
Yeah.
But there's only two of them still living out of the six.
I'll
The other
make sure to
four
start.
are dead.
I'm going to start tying them up. While I'm doing that, Chance did pop one in the head real good. I imagine that made a nice splatter. And as I'm tying them up and setting them down, like, we're going to keep you alive for now because we got some questions about that town up there. We need to know where somebody's buried. Oh, you got a chunk right there. We need you to be real friendly with us.
Maybe a luck check, Scab.
Okay. There we go. Sorry. Luck and okay.
All right. So as you're making sure that they don't have any guns on them or other weapons and you're tying them up, one of them has a wanted poster that was rolled up and shoved inside of his coat pocket.
It's a shame I only got 4 intelligence and I can't read, but I'll see if it looks like anybody I know.
No, not really. Young man, maybe late teens, early 20s. Strong jawline.
Do any of the people with a head left resemble this guy?
So Killian, are you gone back to help Scab then?
I'm actually
look like
going
that
to
fella?
summon up the other, the non-headless dead people as zombies to help tend to the horses that fell asleep. And if they can be salvaged,
Oh,
great.
my
If
goodness.
not, we're going to put them down.
Okay, so you are, so just so I'm framing this right, you are causing obviously dead men to rise from the grave in front of folks that are not used to seeing this sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. To me, it's second
Heroes.
nature. I mean, why not?
Can I
Heroes.
can I try to
We've never been great people. Just,
can I do something
you know.
to try to like make them not notice that and like
What do you
them
want to
be
do?
like, oh, you might I mean, I won't be like very sneaky about it, but I will say like you probably don't want to look this direction for a little bit. There's
So you're literally saying don't think of pink elephants because you can't help but think of pink elephants, and they can't help but rubberneck if you tell them not to look.
yeah.
Okay. Well, grit checks all around. Not for you guys. Soldiers rock solid. One of the bankers has seen worse. Okay. And our lady is actually the other banker.
She's already passed out, so probably
Yeah.
fine.
The two bankers completely lose it. One of them draws a small derringer and just starts to randomly shoot, just out of fright. Just pulls out a little derringer, just like, yeah! Starts just unloading.
I'll make sure the horses are calm through that.
Unfortunately, it's only got 1 or 2 shots. So
Yep, 2
Yeah, I
shots
mean,
exactly. And he
he's not going
shoots
to
at
do
one
much
of the
damage to him, so it's
he
fine.
shoots at one of the dead bodies. It continues to be dead and continues to walk. Unfortunately, as he just continues to pull the trigger as it's clicking on empty ammo. Soldier
Sorry
just looks
about
up
him.
for a
He's
moment.
French.
Soldier just looks up for a moment and says, "So, any of you a doctor?"
he's coming. He's yeah, he's out there. Like a
The other banker's approaching Killian, saying, "You ever thought about offering your services to certain mining concerns? I'm sure your friends here are a lot easier to keep on the payroll. They probably don't even need money or food or light. What's your name, son?" "I'm J.K. Wilkins. Nice to meet your acquaintance."
I am Killian Fauché. I am what the people from the south of the border call a calavera. These are your would-be attackers. I would love to do business with you, but I don't do business with the living.
"Oh, no, that will be just fine. We can make sure you only deal with the labor. I'm sure we can come to some kind of fine understanding, gentlemen. I can see the money, which you would get an ample share of yourself."
Oh
Indeed.
my goodness.
He lights a cigar, just sticks it in your mouth.
Well, I suppose we can
I'll
discuss
come up
more over
behind
cigars and my
Killian
fine
and
wine.
pat him on the back and like, this sounds like a great idea.
Absolutely. How about we meet in town later and we'll sit down to some nice wine and discuss the details.
Yeah, of course. There's supposedly a city not far from here, Harrow Springs. That's where we were supposed to lay over for a few days in a fancy hotel called the Silver Dollar up there. I think it's called the Silver Dollar. Not
That's
sure
about the
what
only
it's
hotel
called.
I've
Actually.
heard of in these parts.
Yeah. So I got a couple of days before I've got to catch another stagecoach out. Maybe we can come to some kind of arrangement.
Yes, I believe we can.
Oh, all right.
Just,
Well,
drag that one a little further out. We don't want the gunshot to startle the horses now.
he just kind of dusts off his pants and goes back and just sits in the stagecoach, waiting for things to go along. Meanwhile, Scabs, you've got your 2 prisoners all chained up.
Mm-hmm.
Are you leading them back, or are you waiting for folks to come to you? I assume you checked on the other 4 men. They are definitely dead.
I grabbed a
Headshots
couple
and the
quick
one
bites.
I'm sorry? Took a couple quick bites.
Just
all
a
right.
couple quick bites, and then I just with this ridiculous strength, see this little 12-year-old boy just dragging the 2 people back.
Sure, and you are dragging them because they're still under the effects of your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Killian, you're back at this point, but I think you still look like a cactus.
Oh, you mean me? Yes,
I forgot,
I do.
What was the deal with the hands of the cultists thing? Was that like universally recognized by a lot of lawmen, or is that just in that one area?
It's just in the one area, but it might be something that you're on the lookout for now.
Okay.
So if you want to check
hands,
you're just gonna collect some hands just in case there's some bounty on hands somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll direct my zombies to tend to the rest of the party as needed. Sacrificing hands, giving Scab some dinner.
Okay, well,
sort of thing.
seeing Pierce McIntyre just sends that those 2 poor bankers that failed their checks did they just pass out from fright? Actually, one of them's got a heart condition.
Oh no!
oh gosh.
I can only
You just
heal
killed
so
one
much.
of them, Pierce.
Oh god! I just showed up.
He's the guy that wasn't firing his derringer. He just passes out. The other one, it just kind of just pointing at the dead bodies and just huge amount of fright in his eyes. And he sees Pierce comes up and he's just like, and just falls over, twitches a few times.
This is not my fault. You all did this.
I very
mean,
quickly need to learn this man's identity.
Oh my
and I
gosh.
will gladly walk up as
Pierce
Cactus
needs to get a
Man.
nice duster that has that in rhinestones in the back that says, "This is not my fault."
I can put them on for you.
Yeah, we're all just gonna borrow the bedazzler
Nice.
for a couple of minutes.
I'm
We'll get tired of
quickly,
bedazzling.
as
We'll do the N and then just go NMF.
Okay.
while that guy's having the heart attack, I want to run over and try and like act like I'm helping him, and then get his like info and
Okay,
whatever I
so
would need
there
to
are
impersonate him.
witnesses nearby. So are you trying to steal something, or are you just doing like, oh, I need to find out who he is, sort of?
Yes. I don't necessarily need to steal anything off of him right now, but I do want to know who he is and just like start remembering that name. And
The one banker kind of leans over the window as he looks down at you doing this and says, "I think he's got a gold pocket watch in there. He was showing that shiny thing off at the last stop. Might be worth $20 or so. And hey, look at his cufflinks. I think those are gold too." Just leans back.
you're right.
You
Everybody's
guys
together
aren't
again.
friends.
Well, we're in the same business, which makes us enemies.
Oh, I understand that. Anyway,
Understandable.
I'm a doctor. Does anyone need help besides him? He's very dead.
The soldier kind of looks up and says, I think her arm's broken, Doc. She passed out. She's breathing real shallow. I'm a little worried about her."
Not a problem. I need someone to lay her down for me.
She's
I
already
do it,
laying down,
but Cactus
Doc.
hands. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I need someone to
I was
open
gonna say,
her
you're just gonna
mouth.
vomit into her mouth with
I
your
am not
cactus
going to
ooze?
vomit into her mouth. I am going. I am in my cactus form, so I'm just gonna get a knife and just cut a little hole like in my hand and just
Okay.
like drip some cactus juice.
There we go. I'll do.
Yeah,
I know what's up.
because that will heal her for a D4, if I'm correct.
Sure, which was enough to rouse her out of her unconsciousness, where she looks up into the face of a cactus man.
Hello, I am
And then
Dr.
has a heart
Pierce
attack.
McIntyre, Cactus Man, and I have saved your life.
She
That's
blinks
my
once.
dad.
She just blinks once, and she raises the non-broken arm and says, "I'm pleased to make your acquaintance, Doc."
I would shake your hand, but once again, Cactus Man. Are you married, miss?
3 times.
Never
all
mind.
deceased.
Never mind.
The war was particularly hard on my husbands.
Fair enough. Anyway. What my job is done.
So the soldier is like, "Well, okay, should we wrap up her arm or something, Doc?" So healing like that doesn't fix broken bones, by the way. Broken bones are broken bones. They're a specific thing.
Yeah. I would be willing to do more, but I am in fact a cactus man right now. So I can guide you through the process of trying to set that and splint it and bind it so that way it doesn't cause more damage.
Well, if you're telling me it's safe, Doc, I know a little bit of this. They gave us some pointers of this in my soldiering. He starts unwinding some bandage that he's just got on the outside of his uniform, tears off the hem, and just makes her a little sling.
Sure.
So anyone? Well, everyone's together. The wagon wheels have a few broken spokes, but you figure you're not very far from town. They may make it. If anyone's particularly good at, if there's a cartwright or a wheelwright amongst you.
Wheels. Yeah.
Otherwise, if folks want to ride double, there's enough horses.
Didn't Eddie pick up a skill specifically for that?
He did.
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Oh, that's fair enough. We'll say that Eddie goes ahead and he repairs the wheels good enough that the stagecoach is usable again.
Right.
But you are down a driver.
I
Who wants to drive the stagecoach?
How hard could it be?
Ooh,
I'll slip my
hang on.
horse into one of the spots with the missing horses now, and I'll take the reins for the,
I'm
the
going
stagecoach.
to ride with you because my horse is very mad at me right now.
That is fair. Yes, I will actually ride your horse. That way, it will know that it will not be hurt. Speaking of people getting hurt, I'll look back to the dead banker and I'll say, "I'm terribly sorry about that. My fault. Rest now."
He throws you the bird as he goes on to his justly rewards, which is a pit opening up beneath him.
Okay.
Oh, right, banker. Yes.
I suppose we could always gather
That's
up.
why I only
know,
pretend to be a banker.
Yeah, that's ooh.
It's better, right?
You do play your odds.
So Scab has gotten 2 of these desperados, which they're probably coming out of your power induced fear at this point. Just kind of staring at everybody.
can have them all gather up their things and their horses and maybe have a little talking to them.
Hey,
The
Dad.
zombies.
This
Oh, sorry. But one of them had this on them. And then I figured once they were in a place where they could talk, you got the real good brains. Maybe you want to ask them questions.
absolutely. What is you said it's a wanted poster?
It is a wanted poster, which bears a striking resemblance to the soldier that's inside the stagecoach.
Does it say what they're wanted for?
$300 reward, murder.
I'll just go up and ask him, like, excuse me, sir. And I'll ask him to step out. Like, I need to have a private word with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, Doc.
Well, I just want you to know first that I am not here to collect any bounties. I don't care about bounties. I'm here for a bigger purpose. And I'll hand him the wanted poster. I'll be like, what is this? What's going on?
He looks at it and he actually looks shocked to see it. He's like, I don't believe they do. What? Look, mister, it was a misunderstanding at the bar. I did not shoot first. Drunker came in trying to shoot the place up. I just tried to talk him down, mister. I really did. He called me out to the street and I wasn't gonna engage in any gunplay, sir, but he was mighty riled up. The sheriff of that town was no account. He was already drunk in the bar at the time. I had to gun him down, but there are plenty of witnesses to say that it was all above board, sir. I swear he's got a wealthy family. I suppose that's what this is all about.
That would certainly do it. Does he seem like he's being genuine here?
You can make me a check.
Personality?
Am I within earshot of this?
Yes, you can make it too if
I
you
roll
want.
a 7.
I would like to.
You're actually not sure with the 7. That's low enough that you're not positive. He could be lying.
I'm gonna burn some luck to throw at that.
2 points would be good enough for you to get a good, because at 10 you think he's probably telling the truth, but you're not sure. If you want to throw 2 points, you can be sure.
2 points is 2d8, and I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
15.
Okay. With the 15, then you are absolutely sure he is telling the truth, but he's also not telling the whole story. Like everything you said is truthful, but you get a feeling there's more to the story.
Okay. Well, I mean, and I don't know that the Jebediah knows that, so I'm going to, being unsure, I will give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, listen, like I said, you helped me with that woman. Obviously, you've got some skill. You've been through some things. We've all been in bad situations like that where the wrong person causes trouble and you take the fall for it. So, keep a low profile. We're going to escort you back to town. We are weird enough that hopefully no one will notice you.
Mister, I don't know how these things work, but my face is being painted on these here pieces of paper and tacked up everywhere. I don't know if it's safe for me to go into a town.
It may not be.
I do want to press him on that. Like, it feels like he's withholding part of the story. So.
Well, you tell me what you want to do. So you were just inside your earshot. So you want to kind of step forward and what do you say?
Yeah, I want to say, like, can't help but, over here definitely sounds like a plausible situation. I don't, contest anything that you said. But I feel like that's a very narrow slice of the whole story you gave us. And there might be some details before and after that might be important if we're to help you.
He blushes a little bit. He says, "Well, it involves a woman, sir, and I would not want to besmirch her name."
Hmm.
Are you good with a gun? I presume so. You were in the army.
Passably
yes.
good.
Right off the bat, and I'll consult to Jebediah before I ask him to do this. Like, I am thinking that we give him instructions back to the house of the mother we were at, and ask him, lay low there for now. Keep an eye on everything, and once we wrap up our business, we'll be returning and we'll see what we can do to help you.
Does this man have a beard?
No. Clean
Damn it.
shaven. It's actually what makes him look very much like the picture because he's got a very defined jawline.
Damn. You should wait at that house until you grow a beard, and then maybe.
Well, I appreciate you giving me this opportunity, but I got nothing on me but the clothes I'm wearing. I don't have any supplies. If this place you're telling me to go has got some supplies, that's not a problem. But I got nothing to offer the situation if there's folks there.
You have no... There's plenty of... I'll just go pick some arms
I mean, we
off
just
of a
killed,
corpse.
6 people, and
Yeah.
he's probably had stuff, right?
I'll give them one of their horses and load them up with a piece and ammo and whatever they had on them.
Okay.
Head there, lay low.
Okay.
Keep them safe. Help out. Earn your keep, of course. Help her out with any work that needs done. But lay low, and we'll help you out when we can.
Did they have money on them?
Yep. Tell
Well,
them
I've got a few
we
silver
say-
dollars. It's just that I
mean,
had to
like-
leave town fast, so I had no
He means
supplies on me, no
The
horse.
corpses.
Did the bandits, have money on them?
They had some.
The
I mean,
bounty
maybe
hunters?
altogether they had like $20.
Oh, we could give them that too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, folks. Very understanding. Okay, I guess I'll help this Ma Colton, you say?
Yes, that's exactly what I said.
Okay. Well, I'll tell her
Tell her that
who
the
sent me.
tell her that the weird group that is retrieving her son.
Okay.
She'll understand.
Okay.
She will absolutely understand.
Okay. He goes off. The two folks that you got tied up right now, Scab, they start muttering.
I'll warn her, or I'll warn him about. She's a little trigger happy with the shotgun, so be very well announced as you approach.
Will do. Thank you, sir. Thank you very kindly.
Yep.
One of the two prisoners you have saying, "That's $300 you're letting walk away there. Look, kid, we can split the money."
I mean, money is kind of not a big deal.
I'm not really so much worried about the money, but I did want to ask you a question. I hope that you'll be
Oh, no, not another joke, kid. Not another joke.
No. Well, we all have bad days, and you've done some bad things. You were shooting at those people. Maybe you can help us do a good thing, because we need to find a Mr. Colton where he's been laid to rest. And I want to know if you know where that is over in this town yonder.
One of them says, "Well, I gambled in that town a few times. They got themselves a boot hill up there, literally on the hill. That's where they put all the dead folks. Can't miss it."
Do either of you know Mr. Colton or those who would have buried him?
Is he ever on a water poster? Actually,
There's the gang, right, too? I can't remember their name.
one of them says, yeah. He's part of that gang. They had a big bounty on him. The Dry Gulch gang, dry something gang. I remember that. It was in the papers. Big bounty on him.
Yeah.
I heard he was gunned down, though.
Wait, are you bandits or not?
No, sir. No, sir. They kind of look at each other. Shifty dog eyes. No, sir. We're just collecting on bounties. That there was a legal bounty.
Yeah, my dad seems to think he was a pretty good guy, so I think he got it wrong. You just made a mistake, right?
Yeah, that was a mistake, kid. Absolutely.
Where'd you get this bounty from?
Town over. Springville.
You weren't directly talking to anyone that may have put the bounty out?
You do catch there. They give them. Each of them are kind of like stare at each other for just a moment. They're like, "No, sir, just got that there wanted poster off of the post office. That's what we do to make money. We collect on these wanted posters. Well, heck, he was worth 100 dead. You can still shoot him. He ain't far away."
No, my dad's a real good judge of character, so if he thinks not shooting him's the right thing to do, we're not going to shoot him today. Are you good people?
Yes, absolutely.
I like hearing that. Well, seeing as you're good people, I got a thought. Maybe we've got a big place we have to look through to find Colton's grave, and the more eyes, the better. So what if here we go. We're gonna set you free, maybe, and I give you a whole. I'm just gonna roll a dice to see like how dumb this is.
As they're answering the like, are we good people thing, I'm gonna be trying to like look at Scab and just be shaking my head.
I could
like
give you
that.
$5 to help us look for his grave.
$5. He kind of looks around at his dead friends.
$5 and a chance for a fresh start. Everybody makes mistakes, but everybody deserves a second chance.
Well, look, what if we say no? You're just going to kill us? Then yeah, we'll take the $5. But that's not. I mean, I drink through $5, kid.
But you also hurt that lady, so I mean, maybe we need to drag you to the
We didn't shoot
office.
no lady. We only shoot the unlawful conveyors of our prisoner away. Yeah.
So you shot and killed the coachman.
He was clearly he was helping this fugitive from the law escape.
Yeah.
That there was a good kill.
No, my dad said he's a good person and let him free. So that means you're wrong.
And I'm pretty
You
sure
said my dad's a liar?
Yes, sir. We're wrong. Yes, sir. Absolutely wrong.
I don't know. I feel like killing innocent bystanders, even if they were transporting him, they probably did not know.
Well, that's fair, but that would be in the eyes of the judge to see now, wouldn't it?
Well,
as far as we were knowing, they were helping a fugitive from the law escape.
Determine that I could ride back real quick and just ask him if he knew.
Why don't you do that?
Wait, no, he's talking about talking to a dead man.
Yeah, he does that.
Why don't you ask him?
If you're
See if he
lying
knew.
to us, if you're lying to us, you're going to be in a bad place.
I'll take Pierce's horse back there to have a grim conversation.
Sure, let's not roll for that. Let's just have some fun. No, absolutely, he had no idea. That wanted poster must have been fresh off the mint. These guys must have been hot on this kid's trail from the time he left that last city.
Oh boy. Well, really, that's all the questions I had for you, sir.
Coachman just tells you that he paid his fare like everyone else. He had no idea.
I'm terribly sorry about this. I'll let you get back to your.
This really sucks. This is nothing like what my preacher said it was like.
Well, see, there's a lot of resting happening before the angels come with the trumpets blowing, and by then you'll know, oh, this is a good sound, or oh, I'm going to where bankers go. So you seem an honest man, an honest businessman, very nice. You converse with holy people. So I would just say, get some rest. You'll be fine.
Okay, guess I'll meet Ethel again soon. Boy, I was trying to put that off. Man, she was a battle axe.
Well, maybe she went to where the bankers go.
You think? I mean, it's likely. I seen her kick a puppy once.
Oh, she went to where the bankers go.
Yeah.
It's like
You
a
don't care
one-way
about-
ticket to Bankertown.
Yeah.
Go to Bankersville.
Oh yeah, they had no idea the guy was a fugitive.
Yeah, no, the coach was a good man. He died for no reason.
I'm going to say you guys probably knew that, considering how early your pickings on this wanted poster was.
Well, Scab,
Again, they give each other like just a quick meet their glances with each other real quick. They're like,
Scab,
look, it's an official wanted poster. It was sworn out by a judge. We were just trying to collect on it.
Yeah.
Can I
Ain't
do a
great
little
living, but it's-
validation on that? I've probably seen a few wanted posters
You
in my
made a
time.
living doing that for a while there, Chance. Hey, look, it's better work than picking away at rocks in the mines.
If I give that a once over, does it? Is it really the real deal, the real article?
It seems like it. I mean, but it does also seem awfully fresh. Like it's not been hanging around anywhere long.
It's official, but the people behind it might not be the best.
well, I mean,
But,
whether or not they're the best, that's not important. The important part is that these two men killed an innocent coach driver and were responsible for the situation that led to the death of a banker and injured a few others needlessly. I think they're bad people, Scab.
Well, I think they got a circuit judge in this town coming up. Yeah, we'll be good prisoners. You can turn us over to the local law if that's what you want to do. $5, kid. Oh.
Scab,
I mean,
are-
I gave you a fair chance, but that's what Paul says. He's a good man, and I listen to my daddy.
Scab, I will.
Can I get a read on if they're wanting to be seen by like, do they seem excited about talking to the judge there because they have like an
No.
in with
I mean,
that
I won't
judge?
even make you
or is
roll
it
for.
more of an alternative?
You don't need to roll for
us
this.
doing something.
They're afraid that you're just going to kill them. They're like, just turn us over to the
Okay.
law then if you think we did something bad.
Yeah, that's
That's
I just
probably
wanted to
the
make sure that's
right
what they were thinking.
thing to do.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'd be more willing to do that too. So
Listen, my kind boys, if you had found me before I escaped from the Black Coat, I would have just murdered you right here and there in a ritualistic sacrifice to strengthen my connection with a dark and terrible god. But
Wait, what?
The baker's leaning over that window again with the cigar in his mouth going, yeah.
but
Tell me more of this goat.
Tell me more of your Dark Lord.
thankfully, my dear boy Scab here has turned me on a better path to try and be a good man. So please live up to your promise to be good prisoners and accept the $5 that Scab has offered you to help us with the work. And we will absolutely turn you over to that circuit judge to allow the law to judge you fairly.
So we gotta work for $5, and then you're gonna turn us over to gets ribbed by the other one. It's like, it's a good deal. They're not gonna shoot us here. All right, yeah, I guess we're your guys for $5, and then we'll see the judge. Okay. This is not how I thought this day was gonna end. I thought we'd be $300 richer. I mean, of course, we'd have to split it 6 ways. So, I mean, $5 isn't bad, really.
You did
there's a
kill an
bonus if
innocent
you
man.
do find something, maybe.
Oh, nobody's innocent. Who you kidding?
In the reason that you killed him, he was innocent.
He's transporting a fugitive.
No idea.
I mean, we hollered at them. We told them to stop. They didn't stop.
There's right and there's
Hey,
lawful, and you were wrong.
Actually, you'd
Usually-
be surprised how hard it is for people to hear you from a distance. It took me a while before you could hear my joke.
The first one was very funny. So I didn't hear the second one. I'd split off, but Scab, the first one, I really had a good laugh at.
I'm plugging my ears just in case Scab wants to tell it again.
That's okay.
So look, we'll help you out. Then just turn us over to the sheriff in town. That's fine, I guess. I mean, I don't know these other folks very well. Look, we were just happened to be in the bar when the judge swore out that wanted notice.
Sort it out
Who was
in
that
the bar.
judge?
But yeah, it turns out that that soldier got a little fresh with with the man's sister. The man is the son of the judge. The judge found out about it real quick. Swore out that warrant right then and there, and we just happened to be in the bar. I mean, I don't really even know these folks. I mean, right here, this is my buddy. And we go back a long ways with the rest of these folks. Even so, it's you're just gonna leave them out here?
Leave who out here?
Oh no. Well, I see some of them are walking on their own again. I suppose they can walk themselves into town and just go to sleep in that Boot Hill there, right?
Well, they'll be lying down very shortly here. They'll probably just have to stay out here, but metaphysically, they'll be fine.
Oh well, I guess that's all that counts.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Good times for everyone.
Hey, look, we don't know a lot about it. We were just in the bar when the judge swore out that warrant. That's all. He even showed the money. He had it in gold coins. We thought it'd be.
That all sounds real.
What did that man say? It said to be a milk run. Said to be a milk run. Now, I've never ran for milk myself, but it sounded like it'd be easy.
I don't know how hard it would be to tell if one of these two were the ones that killed the coach driver.
Ooh, well, you can just ask them.
Yeah, I mean, I could, but I don't know if they'd be honest about that. But
it doesn't matter.
because, like, I mean,
Wait,
if
is
one of the people they
judge-
were with were the one that pulled the trigger on the guys, like, you know, that'd be better.
Wait, just a minute. Is the judge who would eventually come to this town the same judge who put that out over there?
They kind of go quiet at that.
So
Maybe.
the judge who put a bounty out on a man for fooling around with his sister.
His son's sister.
His son's sister.
His daughter.
Yeah, or his daughter.
His daughter. Okay, that makes okay.
Yeah.
What kind of Alabama? Okay.
Convoluted.
This is a sticky situation. Let's think about it on our ride to town.
We still got plenty of work to do to think about what the right thing is.
I agree entirely.
But that doesn't seem fair that the person who gets to make the rules gets to just. I'm having a hard time putting the words to it, Deb, but that just seems.
I understand what you mean exactly. It does not seem fair that this judge used his position of power for personal grievance, right? To bring injustice to someone who did him personal harm, but no legal harm.
It seems not fair because it's in.
Here it'd be $5 each.
$20 each, and you don't
I mean,
ask
there's
about
two of
money
us.
again. Anyway, we'll talk about this on our ride, and we'll come up with a good plan, because
We're very good at planning.
Banker has just been casually leaning over the window, just watching everything that's going along the whole time, puffing on a cigar.
Enjoying the show?
Oh yeah. I think we can do some business. We should talk in town. First round's on
True.
me. Heck, first and second rounds on me.
This guy.
Slaps the side of the stagecoach.
Yes.
He slaps the
This
side
guy.
of the stagecoach. He's like, well, let's get this show on the road. You got yourself some fine low-dollar workers there. I like your style.
I don't like that the banker likes what we're doing, but let's throw these two up on top of the stagecoach and we'll go.
I'll sit with them.
I appreciate that.
You cut their bond scab, but they're doing what they said. They come easy.
I'll challenge them to a paper, rock, scissors tournament.
A tournament.
It's
You're
like a
always
round
wrong.
robin thing.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm not
you
real
amuse
smart.
yourselves for the next half hour as it takes to get into town. And thus ends the first hour and a half of Random Encounter.
Nice.
Welcome to
it's
Random
been-
Encounter.
I like those random encounters that go all deep and
Yeah.
weird like that.
That's right. But you do get the stagecoach into town. We're going to say that our missing Eddie your luchador was able to fix up the wheels good enough. It's a slow, takes a little bit. It probably should have been faster than half an hour, but you guys kind of pull in a half hour. Stagecoach late, over at the stage platform, comes in. You spend a few minutes just letting them know what happened. Also that there's some dead people back there, because I'm assuming you didn't throw the banker that had the heart attack anywhere, just left him out there.
Oh, for him, I think I would have bound him up with the luggage or something.
Okay, so
I'm
you're
sure Ivan would
coming.
have taken care of him at least.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you're coming back with a few
Yep.
bodies. So there are some questions that the town sheriff asks, but there's a lot of collaboration. He seems to take the banker's word as pretty good. Apparently he knows the banker, at least in passing. Seems like he's stopped by the town before and they've shared a drink or two. Nothing more familiar than that.
Okay.
Good enough to corroborate our stories.
Yeah. But he says, you do what you came here for, and I'll be at the Silver Dollar renting out a room. Now, if it's unless they've expanded themselves, they've only got 4 rooms to let. So if you need to stay here overnight, I'd get there quick. And the lady that's getting off asks for a doctor and says, and I'll be taking one of those rooms. Of course. Banker takes her the good arm, and they head over to the saloon.
I can sleep in Boot Hill if necessary. That's quite all right.
I mean, I'm not too. I mean, staying in a nice room is fine, but
I mean, I don't really normally sleep that much anymore, but I did have a question that popped up in my brain. Doesn't it make a difference who buried him as to what it'll say where he's buried?
explain that more.
Well, so somebody who cared about him would lay him down with it saying Colton, right? But somebody that didn't care about him might not do that.
That is a very good point. Someone who did not know, they may put down whatever nickname or.
You filthy criminal dog. You.
I mean,
Maybe even nothing, honestly. He might just be in an unmarked grave.
we could. Yeah. Go ahead.
Bargain bin.
I'm just trying to think of what else we could be looking out for besides his real name.
I mean, we could always talk to the Undertaker.
Does Chuck doesn't remember, but does Pierce remember what he was referred to as when he was running around in the gang, or was it just Kid Colton? Is that right?
Kid Colton. Yeah, that's what he was known as, Kid Colton.
All right. Kid Colton.
And you guys can't miss the Boot Hill, the cemetery. It is literally on the hill at the end of the town.
Okay.
You can see the tombstones from where you are at the stagecoach office.
So we can look for his real name, Kid Colton. All else fails, we can go talk to the Undertaker and see if he knows.
All right, then.
It's still it's late afternoon, but you got hours before the sun goes down.
Yeah.
Hours of cheap labor.
Let's go take a gander.
Yeah, $5. $5.
Hey,
When's the last time you worked for $5?
Listen,
I used to
Think I
work
was
for
12.
2 cents a day.
I'm sure you misheard me, but I did tell you that I would give you each $20 if you didn't bring up pay again.
Please shut up.
Very good.
My dad's a real nice guy.
I try, son. I appreciate you thinking so fondly of me.
You're the best.
You are better than I deserve. Let's go look.
Nah.
Okay, you guys head out to the far end of town. Boot Hill is on a bit of a rise. You can see that it has a worn wooden picket fence around it, keeping in the tombstones, giving it a little bit of a garden look. Chance, this town is new. Like, it's not more than 15 years old, barely. But everything looks really worn. Like, paint is chipping everywhere. These houses, again, not more than 15 years old, but they look worn.
That's kind of peculiar. I go kind of look at him. Does it look like everything's kind of wearing down, or is it just kind of the outsides, like the materials themselves?
Yeah, it's like the paint is chipping and old. It's almost like, I mean, 15 years is not a lot of time if someone spent some time and care and had some pride in their property, but it just looks like no one's taking care of anything. Like everything's just been left, and over time, the wind, the dust, the dirt just kind of wears on everything, and no one's done anything to fix it, replace it.
Like
Keep
the
it
outside of
fresh.
my house, then.
Exactly. Town of drunkards and lazy people, just like you, Chance.
That's right. I feel familiar with this.
Wait a
Not at all
second.
called out. No.
All the shingles that are advertising businesses here and there, they're faded, splintered. I mean,
It's
they're
like
not shot up or anything. They just all look worn. They just all look
It's
a
like
little worn.
they
little
they
ragged.
built the place and just that was it.
Let it sit. Yeah. Anyway, there's a small shack on the graveyard property there. You see that there is smoke coming out of the chimney.
Do we want to start looking or go give a hello and
Probably a quick hello, so like nobody comes out of shooting.
That's a good point.
they
Because
may-
if somebody saw us digging without permission, that could maybe cause trouble.
it absolutely could. Wait, they may actually even know where Kid Colton might be buried at as well.
Oh, but you two gentlemen, in case we do have to do a lot of digging, I want you two to get warmed up. So take those shovels and just start digging a nice little trench
we
here
haven't
along
gotten
the road.
shovels yet.
Oh, then better use your hands then.
I will give them a 20 because I've got plenty of cash on me.
Okay.
Go to the general store, buy 3 shovels, and come back here. And if you do not return, we will hunt you down.
You don't have to threaten us, mister.
I
We
appreciate
gave you our
that.
word.
Thank you very much.
We gave you our word.
And
they go off slowly.
Real quick, before you leave, any change you can keep.
Oh, thank you. They go a little faster to the general store. Meanwhile, while the cemetery is ringed by this kind of low wooden fence, the fence is actually in good repair. It's been painted recently. There is no gate, so people are free to walk into the cemetery. It looks like people do come here to give their best to relations once in a while because you do see fresh flowers on a few graves. When I say graves, they're very small plots, though. Most of the there's a few actual headstones, but mostly it's just wooden crosses with names carved into them.
So looking over this place, given that the town's like 15 years old, does the graveyard, the number of graves, does it seem proportional?
Yeah, actually, there's not that many.
That too.
Okay,
Yeah, there's not that many.
cool.
Not a lot of turnover.
Not a lot of turnover.
Calaveras keep coming into town, raising the dead, and taking them off to the mining companies.
Oh no. I feel like I should be upset by that.
Got a good one every now and then.
Yeah.
Chance, you're the most normal looking person among all of us. Please go knock on the door.
Oh, fine. Yeah. Go knock on the door.
All right. Older man, very grizzled, as worn looking as the town, kind of comes to the door, just kind of peeks out, says, I wasn't informed there's supposed to be a burial today. I'm afraid I'm already into my cups. Come back tomorrow.
Oh, that'll probably be happening tomorrow. That's not today. We're here to just try and find somebody.
Well, then go look. Slams the door.
All right, like you don't mind if we take them back to their mother who's looking for their dead son?
Door opens. Now, don't you be digging around. That's disrespectful.
Well, that's why we came to talk to you first, son, mother. Once their son back, we came to get him.
He's just like lost for words, just kind of staring at you like, I don't understand.
You don't
If they're
think
buried here, they were given rights and they were putting away. You figured the family's probably here for it. Now you're saying they want them back.
Well, they're
Kinda
not.
twisted.
they weren't here for it because they didn't know. So they kind of want. We got a Calavera with us. You know, we're on the up and up.
Kid Colton.
Colton. Yeah. He steps out. You can smell the whiskey on his breath. He just splashes some water on his face. He comes out. He's walking with a pronounced limp. He comes out to a section of the graveyard and he points down at a grave that's got a very simple wooden cross carved on it. And it just says Colton. This is the only Colton I've got buried here, but you can't just be digging up a body. You gotta at least go get the preachers okay.
I mean, that's fine. You know, we're gonna do all the right stuff.
I cast sleep on him.
Yeah, preacher says it's okay. I guess it's fine. I mean, I can always reuse the hole, I guess. Save me some digging.
It'll save you some trouble tomorrow because you got a coachman and a banker, at least. So you'll need a second, really.
I cast sleep on him.
You cast sleep on him?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh.
That's a 1, too. Now,
Oh no!
if you're keeping track of bits, I will allow bits to reroll, but not.
I haven't.
not-
So this is lost, failure, and worse. D6 modified by luck. My luck modifier base is a 10, so luck modifier is a 0.
Okay. That's what happens. Casted spells on the innocent people of the town.
This is a 5. This is a misfire.
Ooh.
I gotta go to the. Hang on, I gotta open up the DCC book. This is the only DCC spell I've got.
It's a good idea, though.
It was.
Well, while he's doing that,
Now it's an even better idea.
as Pierce's eyes roll back into the back of his head for a moment, what are the rest of you guys doing? He said he
Could you,
introduces
like,
himself as Oleski.
Direct us to the preacher?
He points at the only building that's got a cross attached to it.
I mean,
Good. I mean, we're not from here.
heck, mister, I know you're doing us a favor and you look like you could use some extra rest. If you've got a shovel, I'll dig the holes for you ahead of time.
Let's see what the preacher has to say first. What happened with your spell?
Caster jolts all creatures within 50 feet to total alertness, canceling all sleep, magical or otherwise, as
He's
well
no longer
as
drunk.
all dazes, hallucinations, and other distractions. So
Oh, you've literally sobered him and everyone in town up.
Yes.
it's only
Well,
50 feet, so hopefully
that
it's
doesn't even
Okay,
get out the graveyard.
yeah.
Okay.
All the corpses are no longer pickled.
Oh god.
Every ghost in town just wakes up and
Yeah, he's
Oh,
suddenly
yeah.
very sober, which is a condition he's probably not seen in a decade.
Ooh.
He's like, now hold on a minute now. My brain seems to be working a little bit better now, for some reason, and
Just
boy, I
imagine
could
that
use a drink. But
hangover.
look, you get the preacher's okay. You either bring him out here to tell me it's okay, or you bring back some script. I got my letters. I can read. You get his okay. I'll let you dig up the body, but you do the digging yourself. I
That's
make
fine.
the
We
digging
got
for the
some-
planting, but I ain't going to unplant them. That's not
That's
in my
fair.
job description. And then
That's
there's a fee
fair.
involved as well.
Do we have to pay you?
Yes.
How much?
$15.
If I pay you $30, can you say that you read the script from the preacher and let us dig anyway?
$40, I'm sure the preacher would be just fine with you upstanding citizens taking a body out of my grave.
$50 and you never saw us.
Who are you?
Exactly. All right.
He takes your $50 and goes back into his shack.
I gotta open up my calculator.
Have a pleasant day.
About that time, your two prisoners come back. They bought themselves some decent shovels.
But they came back.
And they
Okay,
actually
just in time
bought
for
some
work.
food, too. They hadn't eaten in a while. And they brought you guys some food too. He's like, they got themselves one of them new delicatessens over there where they cut the meat real fine. Like we thought you folks might want some sandwiches. We brought back some meat and some bread.
That is
No, it's okay. I'm all full from earlier.
They're earning some good points with me.
I give them a $5 to cover the cost of the food.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Well, we got our shovels. We got some decent ones. So we got to be doing the shoveling.
This one.
Right there. This one right here.
Yeah.
Do we move the cross? I mean, they kind of both looking over to the person that talks to the dead people. It's like, do we touch the cross? Is that a bad thing? Do we
I'm sure
dig
Jesus
around the
will
cross?
be fine with it.
Okay. Well, I guess you know. You talk to him much? He
No.
was a hippie.
Well, the thing is that he was dead for a while and then he wasn't. So not really a lot of chance to communicate with him in the interim.
Okay. They proceed to dig. And dig. And dig. And dig. For a while there, you're not sure they're actually going to hit something. And then you hear their shovel chain sounds that hit something a little solid. It's like, okay, we got the casket here. We brought back some rope. You want to throw us down some rope and you guys can haul it up?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pull on the rope. You bring. The first thing you notice is that there's a coffin ascending from that pit, but it sure doesn't weigh like there's a person in it. It's awfully light.
I'm not surprised. It's still worth looking inside to see what's left inside, but I am not surprised that it is empty.
Yeah.
It's going to be like one of those sticky note trails, I bet.
I owe you one outlaw.
So yeah, when we haul it up, let's crack it open. What do we see?
And
Right,
once we get that out, we'll lower the rope and pull our hired help out. They don't need to stay in the hole.
All right, I am uploading an image. Okay, there. Maybe I should make this smaller. Okay, so the coffin is filled with a bunch of small rocks, but amongst the rocks is a piece of paper. Killian, you said you were a photographer, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Well, everybody can just make me an intelligence check, please. Unless somebody happened to be a newspaper man as one of your occupations or a writer.
An 18.
Only pretended to be one.
Okay, well, Killian and Chance, both of you. It's newsprint, but it's the paper that they print newspapers on, but it's not been printed on. So it's just the paper. It's torn and there's someone's written on it, and that's what it says. No peace for traitors, no escape in life, none in death. Cowards hang in purgatory until night falls and the golden circle rises again. The bottom of the script is an ink stamp depicting a triangle inside a circle and marked with the letters KGC.
Any idea on what does KGC ring a bell?
For you, maybe, as your occultism ability, you can roll that. I think it's intelligence based.
Yeah.
Kentucky grilled chicken.
Kentucky. Oh, I only rolled a 5.
No idea.
The Kentucky grilled chicken it is.
Yep.
Let's
You've
find
got
the girl
boons.
again.
I do have
otherwise,
a boon. I'll expend
okay.
a boon. And that's just a reroll, right?
It's just a reroll.
Was this the group
17.
that I
that's
recognized
better.
last time?
Knights of the Golden Circle.
Mm-hmm.
I will share that information. Well, KGC is Knights of the Golden Circle. Printed on newspaper, paper that hasn't been printed on. Well, I say we see if we can find ourselves anyone, a member of the Knights, maybe starting with the closest signs of a printing press.
Yep. So what you know about the Knights, and I think Jebediah got a little bit of this as well early on in our first. Okay, so the KGC is somewhat of a political organization. Their objective was to annex a golden circle of territories between Mexico, Central America, the Confederate States of America, and the Caribbean, all as slave states. They financed their plots and goals, though, by robberies, blackmail, and assassinations. You know about some of this, Pierce, because they've also been known to dabble into the darker sides of occultism, mostly in the stealing of rare librams.
Oh. Also, 20 sides to every story. Thank you for that raid. Welcome. We're playing some Weird Frontiers.
Yeah, thanks for the raid, guys. Yeah, look at that. So that's what you know about the KGC. So the reason I posted the pick in here is because the way certain things are written may lead you to realize some things. So,
well, if we go with the first letter of every sentence, it spells Nikua. Obviously, that's a clue.
And yeah, you also know that it's printed on newsprint, unused newsprint. So it's not been ran through a printing press yet. Or a block press, I guess, this time. Yeah.
Well,
but no body. No body.
Maybe whoever's behind this kind of assumed someone would come looking here.
You wouldn't put something like this in there unless you were assuming. So I think you're spot on that, Scab.
That's real mean. There's too many mean people around here.
I agree.
Your two prisoners are like, so we were hired to dig you up a body.
You're free to
go and report to the sheriff. Well,
I peel off at $20.
Not so hasty. We haven't actually digged you up a body yet, so we don't have to make that date with the sheriff just yet, unless you want us to.
If you think you've got some more you can offer to help us with, I mean,
wait, is there a town around here called Purgatory?
Make me a luck check, Scab.
Oh, that's a good thought because it's
I was kind of contemplating that too because it was uniquely capitalized as well.
One of the guys is like, yeah, matter of fact, not rightly a town, but there's a place nearby and a bunch of canyons. A lot of the outlaws, and I'm not saying I'm an outlaw, but I know some shady characters that talk about a place called Purgatory. Not far from here at all.
Well, I mean, maybe it would be more helpful to us if you could point us where that is instead of going to the sheriff.
Well, no,
that's where
I've just heard hearsay. I mean, I've never been there myself. I don't have a lot of shady friends because I'm a good, outstanding citizen, just trying to make ends meet by tracking down wanted folks. But I would make a personality check.
Oh God, I do so terrible. Well,
it's so low that you don't know. You
that's
do
fair.
Not know.
I'm not good with people. That's fair.
Same with Jebediah, you just know. But I'm sure. I mean, it's close to here. I'm sure there's some unsavory characters within this town that probably know it quite well. I mean, I know it's in a bunch of canyons. I mean, I know where the canyons are around here, but I couldn't take you exactly to this purgatory place. But I can get you in the ballpark. You might be better served talking to some other folk, though.
I think that's
not that we're in a hurry to go to the sheriff's. Just being honest with y'all.
Excuse me, everyone. I would like a word with these two before we dismiss them to go report to the sheriff. And I will pull them off out of earshot. I will give them the $40. Each of them gets 20 as promised. Listen, I am trying to do better for my boy Scab. Because of that, I am not liquefying the both of you right now. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to give you $400 right now.
$100.
You are going to go back and claim one of your friends. You are going to mutilate their corpse. And you are going to turn them in as the man you were hired to kill.
Okay.
400 now, and then 300 for the bounty. Mutilate them in the way that they are not recognizable.
One of them got their head blown off.
One
Yeah.
of them did
Yeah.
have their head
Shouldn't be-
blown off.
Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah.
That's an easy one right there.
Not to mention, I didn't resurrect the one with the head blown off, so he's probably quite not zombified either.
Do we have a deal?
They both take off their hats. Put it over yes, sir. We got a deal. That's mighty kind. I don't know if we could collect the bounty, but $400 sure is better than the bounty would have paid.
You have to try and collect the
we
bounty.
will try. We will try.
Fair enough.
Absolutely. And I wasn't fibbing you about not knowing where this purgatory place is exactly, but I do know somebody in town that you should have a really
Who
good
is it?
talking to. She goes by the name of Shotgun Sarah. Okay, we had a fling back in the day. She's a rough character, let me tell you. You don't get much shadier. But if anybody in this town knows, it's her or the people that she hangs around with.
All right. I'm gonna give him $500.
They should just want to be on our payroll at this point.
I will give you, this is 400 for the bounty, 100 for the information on Shotgun Sarah, and that 100 also covers your promised silence. I do not want anyone else coming after that man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll take the body back to Springville instead. And we'll claim it there, and you'll never have to see us again.
I appreciate that. Now, away with you. Before I summon dark
they're
elements.
running away. They're running away before you finish that.
All
So,
right.
what do you think Pierce said to them? I mean, they're moving awfully quickly.
Yeah, they are.
I return to the group.
Maybe
We need to
maybe
speak.
ask them to go pick up some milk.
I've released them. They won't be a problem anymore, and they won't give our new friend any trouble. We need to go speak with Shotgun Sarah.
We should probably ask Shotgun Sarah about the Knights of the Golden Circle as well.
Possibly.
When we were first discussing this, we got a rumor that the Dry Park gang was perhaps a front for someone. By messing with this business, we could be messing with a much bigger business.
I'll put my hand on Pierce and be like, "You're lucky we're friends. The way you're throwing money around, you would have been a great target for me."
Because Jebediah is
appreciate
able
that.
he's able to look at a person and see how much money they've recently let go from their person.
Yeah.
That guy's lost
He's really good at it.
7 ounces of weight recently.
He can just see it.
To Jebediah, I appreciate that. And you're lucky that I am trying to be a better person, because with all the trouble and mayhem you caused, you would make a great live sacrifice to the Black Goat. That's why
Yeah.
we're friends.
Does you want to sacrifice him?
I don't. I absolutely do not.
I was like,
Trust me, you've all been weighed.
You keep your friends close and your sacrificial victims even closer.
You do. You do. It's easier to get them to follow you to the altar.
That's right.
I
Just
thought
like
I
that
was
Fall
all
Out
right.
Boy song.
All right. Well, we're at time. We will leave it there. You guys have a coffin with no body, but you've got a name of an unsavory character going by the name of Shotgun Sarah in town that might know where this place Purgatory is. Yeah,
Okay.
sounds like a place to leave it. Chuck,
Yeah.
go ahead. Let us know what else is going on this week.
So, yeah, you can find the majority of us hanging out at twitch.tv/defenders of Kobold. Wednesday, we got some Alien. It's our ongoing campaign, All Fear the Ishtar. Bert and Jeremy and Dan are in that. They're playing some revolutionaries, trying to free the common man against the tyranny of the big bad corporations like Wayland Yutani and Sigson.
Look, some of us just trying to get our car fixed, all right?
I even threw a planet in of people that do drag races to give you a chance to get some parts to fix your car. So we need Baby to be back up and running. I don't know how this group's going to make it without Baby. And then Fridays, we have a stream every week. This Friday, we're doing Oh God, someone help remind me the name of that. It's Alien.
I can't remember it
Universal
anytime
Ball
ever.
Anthology.
Thank you, Joe.
There it is.
Universal Ball Anthology. We're playing a bunch of lizards. John is running that, and we're on a heist on a space yacht, so we can save our dying grandmother or something like that.
Yeah, like a heart transplant for her.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think that's it. Not the next Saturday, not live stream. So yeah, that's it for DOK.
All right. Well, I understand that you might have a friend with a certain Patreon there. Why don't you tell us about it?
Oh yeah, Aaron's on
Jeremy.
Patreon. You've got comics, maps, tokens, other fun stuff. Check it out.
Sounds good. Anybody else? Jake, you got anything?
Nothing this time.
Daniel?
Nothing too exciting.
Joe? What's going on with your game?
Yeah, I'm working on a game called Anvia. It's almost done. After we do our few one-shots on the channel, we'll be doing the first campaign of it. So, should be fun.
If you ever want to
Fridays.
hand that off to another GM to run it to see if there's anything that comes across that way, because that's always the best way to check out your games.
Yes,
Give it to someone else
that
to
is
run.
definitely the plan. After this campaign, that is the next step. I want people to see if it's runnable and not just my brain splattered on pages. So
More companies should do that. Yes.
yeah.
Right. So for myself, we play a lot of old school games. Tuesday was a second edition Dungeons and Dragons game, but we're taking a little break right now. We had a good ending to a story arc, and before we start the next one, we're just doing a lot of one shot games, some cool horror games for the most part. We're probably going to do it's either Wellington Paranormal or Paranormal Wellington. One's the TV show and one's the game. We're doing the game this Tuesday. Friday is BX Dungeons and Dragons, the original basic expert Dungeons and Dragons, long running game. That thing's been going over 6 years long now, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
A long running game. Let's see. Saturday is Cyberpunk Red, a dramedy using the Cyberpunk Red system. And then next Sunday, we might be doing some more playtesting of Bloody Appalachia,
I'm
a
available.
Survive This name of the system game. Other than that, check out the podcast at Bluemagic, BLUMAGIK.com. There is almost 15 years worth of podcasting goodness on there now. We've been doing it for a while, folks. I'm an old man. But yeah, there we go. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that tonight. The listening audience, we told you might laugh, but you will question your values afterwards. And we're sorry. We're sorry.
So sorry.
Chuck, say goodbye.
Goodbye.